Welcome back. Today we're going to tie Lance Egan's Rainbow Warrior on the multicam setup. This is a very popular pattern, very much an attractor pattern, a lot of flash to it, very, very effective nymph pattern though. It just flat out catches fish. We're going to do this one in a size 12 today on a curved caddis hook, egg hook, whatever you refer to it as, but it's a size 12. And I got a silver bead on there, 7/64 with a couple of wraps of lead wire already in there, 15 thousandths, just to secure that bead into place a little bit. So I'll get a couple of wraps over top of that. We've got some red 6/0 thread today. And I'm gonna work that thread to a nice base here. And then as always, when I'm tying on these, my end point is an imaginary line from the eye of the hook straight back. That's my tie-in point for my tail. The tail on this one's going to be just regular pheasant tail. I'm going to go 6 to 8 strands, somewhere about that. Pull your stuff, the fibers that you're going to work with out perpendicular to the stem, and then just pinch those off. That way they're going to be nice and even for you going to the back. So now we'll measure that out, give it about the length of the hook, you know, from the eye to where the curve starts. That'll be the length that we'll use for this section, or for this fly, for this size of fly I should say. And then just work that right to where you left off with your thread. Take a quick look underneath, make sure that you don't have anything extra exposed. Everything looks pretty clean right there. And then I'm going to take that excess fiber up to where I left off with the 15 thousandths lead wire. So right to that tie-in point, and then we're going to go with some Mirage Tinsel. This is an Opal, and it's size large. Anything smaller than a 12, I would probably go with a medium on this. But we're gonna use this large today for the 12. So now, make sure that you leave yourself enough to work with. Come back just slightly and tie this in at the very front. Tie that in, and I'm gonna just make thread wraps all the way back to the tie-in point of my pheasant tail. So there we go, everything's set and how we want it. Make one clean wrap right at the very back. Take a look around, make sure that you don't have any exposed thread or anything like that. And then it's just one wrap right in front of the next, all the way. I typically take it all the way to the front. I'm going to wind up covering some of that up. But this way I don't have to worry about loose wraps or anything, or spacing being off. It's alright if you want to cover a little bit of this up. But as long as you have your nice spacing and everything on your body, you're going to be in pretty good shape. Leave a little bit right here in the front. We're going to have some dubbing, and then we're going to also have this tinsel going back as an overwing or a wing case. I can't really say that it's a wing case. It's just a little bit more flash, kind of like a flashback pheasant tail or something like that. So like I was saying, we'll get that tied in, and I just want that coming straight back, making sure that it's over the top and centered for me, which that's not centered too well. I'm gonna have to look over this and block that camera to make sure that I'm centered. There we go. Now I just want to take that right back to where my dubbing's going to be started, and you can see that tinsel's going right back over the center. You don't want that kick to one side or the other. And I can just fold this over or trim it, whatever you want to do. So everything's captured for us. And now what we're going to do is take a little bit of Scud dubbing. I'm going to do this one with a little bit of pink today, just to offset the colors. Most times when you see this one tied, it's tied with like a rainbow mix to it. It's got like some blues, some purples, some pinks, some reds, a little bit of everything to it. I'm just going to go with a straight pink on this one, and I'm going to dub this really loosely. And I'll probably wind up picking this out a little bit. I'm going to take a couple of wraps just to see how I like it to this point. That's more than enough dubbing right there. More than enough. So then from there, I'm just taking that tinsel over the top, and I'm going to catch that right behind my bead head. Right behind that bead head. Get a nice secure wrap right there, and then I'm going to peel this back. Stand that up straight. And trim that section out. So there we go right there. Now I still have a little tag of that on the top, so I'm covering that up, and at the same time I'm making this hot spot with the red thread right in front of that pink. So now I'm just going to take this, I'm going to whip finish this one right in front of that bead, and then trim this off. Get that set off to the side, and then I just want to tease this dubbing slightly. So I'm going to grab a tool here, just tease that dubbing out a little bit. If you want to, you could throw it in a dubbing loop. That'll pick it out a little bit easier for you. I'm just going to tease that stuff, trim some of these excess right there. And then the last thing that I'll do, just to secure this a little bit, is I want to take right over this top, I want to throw a little bit of UV on there. Just from the top right onto the thread leading up to the bead. Take and hit that with the torch for a couple of seconds. And you've got a finished Rainbow Warrior. Like I said, it's in a 100% an attractor pattern. There you can see it right there. We'll give that a quick spin. But there is no denying the fish catching ability of this fly. I mean, it flat out produces. Like I said, anywhere, I've seen folks tie them all the way up to like a size 8, but I typically tie them probably 12 to 18. 18 would be the absolute smallest that I would tie these in. 12 to 16 is probably the sweet spot though. But if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them with me. I'll get back to you. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll catch you on the next fly.